By now, you've probably heard it said 100 times. AI is going to disrupt everything. And yes, AI is changing how we work. That part is true. But how will it disrupt you? There's no simple answer. And today, I want to offer a more nuanced perspective. One that can bring you clarity and maybe even relief. Here's the thing. AI doesn't automatically eliminate roles. What it can do is trigger disintermediation. That's the real risk. Disintermediation is when participants in the supply chain, or also called value delivery network, are removed because they are no longer perceived as adding value. That's what you need to protect against. That's where disruption becomes personal. Because when clients feel they can go directly to the next in line and skip you, you're no longer critical, you're optional. That's why your number one priority in a time of disruption is this: stay relevant and keep adding value. The modern view of market competition is that it's no longer companies that compete, it's supply chains. That's another market force that puts pressure for disintermediation and pushes low-value participants out of the game. On a company level, competition has been long replaced with collaboration. A good example is Philips and their open innovation models, where through ecosystems like High-Tech Campus Eindhoven, which Philips co-funded, multiple companies, including competitors, coexist and collaborate on joint projects. And if you look at your own professional network and how many times you have collaborated on projects with other localization companies, you will agree that that's the case. The conclusion is, don't be afraid to partner with other companies that provide the same services when looking for ways to add supply chain value and stay market relevant. The concept of competition between companies is outdated. Be afraid of being pushed out of the supply chain as you are no longer adding value. Now here's the good news. Even when your clients can bring localization in-house, they often won't do it. And the reason is simple. Outsourcing still makes business sense. And why is that? Let's take a closer look. Cost savings. Outsourcing lowers labor costs, especially for high-skilled, specialized work. It also helps convert fixed cost into variable cost, which is exactly what finance leaders want in times of uncertainty. Why build a large internal team when you can pay only for what you use? Reduced overhead. No need to manage extra HR, infrastructure or admin load. Less internal complexity, more lean operations. Economies of scale. Outsourcing vendors often serve multiple clients, which means they can amortize costs, buy in bulk, and maintain more efficient processes. They benefit from that scale without paying for it alone. Focus on core competence. Your clients don't want to become localization experts. They want to focus on what they do best, developing products and services, scaling markets, delighting their customers. Outsourcing lets them direct internal resources towards strategic initiatives while staying productive and efficient. Access to specialized expertise. Let's be honest, localization is nuanced. You bring deep domain knowledge, cutting-edge workflows, and highly skilled talent that would be expensive, difficult, and may take years to build internally. Scalability and flexibility. Outsourcing makes it easier to scale up or down based on market demand. Need to localize in 5 new languages next month? Launch in a new region next quarter? They can move fast without long-term risk. No delays in hiring, no burdens in structuring. Speed and efficiency gains. External partners already have the systems in place. They've done it before. Many of them have 24/7 capabilities. That adds up to faster delivery and shorter time to market. Innovation and competitive edge. External vendors are motivated to improve, to stay sharp, to innovate. Because if they don't, someone else will. That pressure drives better outcomes for clients and often quicker entry into new markets with less upfront investment. So yes, your clients can now internalize localization with AI, but most, if not all of them, won't do it. Not because they can't, but because it's simply smarter, faster, and more effective to outsource non-core processes. At the same time, many localization companies are worried about AI language technology developers entering the market as linguistic service providers. For the same reasons and the need to focus on their core competence to stay competitive, which in their case is technology, at some point they would have to make a choice. Will they be technology developers or language service providers? History shows that unless you are a very, very large company, you can't be both successfully. And if you try, you risk falling short behind other tech companies in regards of development and other LSPs in terms of quality service delivery. I do remember not so long ago, many LSPs started to develop their own technologies for workflow management, machine translation, etc. Over time, most of them abandoned this idea as they started spreading their resources thin into completely different directions, with completely different resource and management needs. Back to the problem at hand. Though most of your clients don't have strong enough incentives to insource localization, regardless of the fact it is now technically facilitated, still there is a catch. Their perception of value is shifting, and the expectations for their providers are changing. That's why rethinking your value and realigning with those expectations is crucial. You can't rely on what made you valuable yesterday. You have to identify and articulate your value in terms of today's priorities. That means understanding your client's current perception of value, redefining and crafting your value proposition, aligning your communication and delivery with it. So yes, AI will disrupt you and your current way of doing things. But disintermediation is the real threat if you are not actively looking to stay relevant. And that's exactly what I'm here to help you do. I'm Nick Ivanov, thanks for watching my videos, and I hope you'll find them useful in your process of adapting to the new AI localization reality.